Puddle, a small, brave puppy, was lost in a sprawling city park. His fur was the color of wet earth, blending with the muddy ground. He'd been separated from his family during a sudden heavy downpour. The park was unfamiliar, filled with strange scents and sounds. He navigated the terrain cautiously, his small paws padding softly. Puddle scavenged for scraps of food, his belly rumbling with hunger. He dodged hurried footsteps, the city dwellers oblivious to his plight. Days bled into weeks, each one a struggle for survival. Loneliness gnawed at him, a constant ache in his small heart. He faced the constant threat of larger animals, always on alert. One cold morning, the air was crisp and biting. He stumbled upon an elderly woman near a park bench. She was struggling to breathe, her face pale and strained. Puddle sensed her distress, his instincts kicking in. Without hesitation, he began barking incessantly and loudly. His sharp barks echoed through the quiet morning air. He ran in circles around her, trying to get someone's attention. A nearby jogger heard the commotion and stopped to investigate. The jogger saw the woman's distress and Puddle's frantic barking. Immediately, the jogger pulled out their phone and called for help. Puddle continued to bark, his eyes fixed on the woman. He nudged her hand with his nose, offering comfort. The ambulance arrived quickly, sirens wailing in the distance. Paramedics rushed to the woman's side, their movements swift. They assessed her condition, their faces grim with concern. The woman, named Agnes, was carefully lifted onto a stretcher. She was rushed to the hospital, the sirens growing louder. Puddle watched as the ambulance sped away, his tail drooping. He had no idea if she would be okay, only hope remained. Agnes narrowly escaped a severe heart attack thanks to Puddle. At the hospital, doctors worked quickly to stabilize her. The jogger stayed behind to comfort Puddle, petting his head. "You're a good boy," the jogger said softly. "A real hero." Puddle licked the jogger's hand, his tail wagging weakly. He was still worried about Agnes, his heart filled with anxiety. The jogger took Puddle to a nearby animal shelter. He was given food and water, his hunger finally appeased. He curled up in a warm bed, exhausted from his ordeal. But he couldn't sleep, his mind racing with thoughts of Agnes. He wondered if he would ever see her again, his hope dwindling. The next day, Agnes's family came to the animal shelter. They had heard about the brave puppy who saved her life. They were grateful for his quick thinking and unwavering loyalty. They asked about adopting Puddle, wanting to repay his kindness. Hey, Agnes, recovering in the hospital, insisted on adopting him. "He's my hero," she said weakly. "I want him with me." Arrangements were made, and Puddle was soon reunited with Agnes. His tail wagged furiously as he saw her, his joy overflowing. Agnes smiled weakly, reaching out to pet his soft fur. "Thank you, Puddle," she whispered. "You saved my life." Puddle licked her hand, his eyes filled with love and gratitude. He knew he had found a new home, a place where he belonged. The park, once a place of fear, now held a new promise. He would always remember his time alone, his struggles for survival. But now he had Agnes, and that was all that mattered. He snuggled close to her, feeling safe and loved. His days of wandering were over. A new chapter had begun. He closed his eyes, finally able to rest peacefully. The memory of the downpour faded, replaced by warmth. Puddle had found his family, and his heart was full. Agnes recovered and opened her home to Puddle, a haven of warmth and love. Puddle, no longer alone, wagged his tail, his eyes full of gratitude. Agnes smiled, stroking Puddle's soft fur, a silent promise of forever. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Their bond grew stronger. They strolled through the park, Puddle trotting happily beside Agnes. Agnes would point out squirrels, Puddle would tilt his head, listening intently. Quiet evenings were spent on the porch, watching the sunset paint the sky. Agnes would read aloud, Puddle nestled close, a comforting presence. Years passed, etching lines on Agnes's face in silver and Puddle's fur. Their love remained a constant, a beacon in the changing seasons. One peaceful evening, Agnes drifted off to sleep, never to wake again. Puddle nudged her hand, a soft whine escaping his throat. He sensed the stillness, the absence of her gentle heartbeat. Heartbreak washed over him, a wave of profound loss and confusion. The house felt empty, devoid of Agnes's warmth and laughter. Days turned into weeks, but Puddle never forgot Agnes. He remembered their walks, their quiet evenings, their shared love. Every morning, Puddle would leave the house, a familiar path etched in his mind. He walked to the park, to a quiet corner shaded by an old oak tree. There, nestled among the flowers, was Agnes's grave. Puddle approached slowly, his tail giving a hopeful, hesitant wag. He laid down beside the headstone, his head resting on the cool marble. He waited patiently, his eyes scanning the path, searching for a familiar face. The wind rustled through the leaves, whispering Agnes's name. A robin landed on the headstone, chirping a cheerful melody. Puddle lifted his head, his ears perked, a flicker of hope in his eyes. But it wasn't Agnes. It was just the wind and the robin. He lowered his head again, a sigh escaping his lips. Still, he waited, his loyalty unwavering, his love eternal. Passersby would often stop, offering a kind word or a gentle pat. They recognized the grief in his eyes, the unwavering devotion in his heart. Children would leave flowers by the headstone, a tribute to Agnes's kindness. Puddle would watch them, his tail wagging softly, a silent thank you. He knew Agnes was gone, but her memory lived on in his heart. He would continue to visit her grave, every day, for as long as he lived. His love for Agnes was a promise, a bond that death could not break. He remembered her gentle touch, her warm smile, her unconditional love. These memories were his treasures, his solace in the face of grief. He would wait for her, not in expectation, but in remembrance. Each visit was a testament to their enduring friendship. The sun began to set, casting long shadows across the park. Puddle stood up, stretching his weary limbs. He looked at Agnes's grave one last time, a silent farewell. Then, he turned and walked slowly back towards the house. He knew Agnes would always be with him, in his heart and in his memories. He carried her love with him, a light in the darkness. Tomorrow, he would return, to wait and to remember. His vigil was a symbol of unwavering love and loyalty. He would keep Agnes's memory alive, forever in his heart. Each day, Puddle honored the woman who had saved him. His love was a beacon, shining brightly in the park. He was a testament to the power of friendship. Puddle's grief was deep, but his love was stronger. He waited, not in vain, but in devotion. His heart held Agnes's memory safe and warm. He was her faithful companion, even in death. Puddle's wait was a love story, etched in time. His loyalty was a legacy, forever remembered. He was a symbol of love that never fades. Puddle's grief transformed into a quiet, lasting love.